Welcome to, or finally, a new episode of Weekly Catch Up Out and About with Trev. I absolutely apologise for not getting much content up over the last few months. I think the last thing I put up was with Hellchild, and I think that was the last one. I'd have to look. There you go. Probably should have checked that out before I started. Anyway, there you go. It's been a while anyway. I've been working on a few different things over the last few months, and I'm still involved with the Council of Homeless Persons. I'm now a graduate of their peer education support program, and we advocate for those that are still on the streets, as well as trying to push forward the important issues such as affordable housing, which is virtually a crisis point. Well, it is a crisis point now. We need to get the attention of society, government, the corporate world to understand that, you know, having a roof over your head is a basic right, and everyone should have somewhere safe to sleep, and not just somewhere where they can sleep and, you know, have a shower and do their laundry and things like that, but, you know, somewhere they can engage in social activities, have friends over, have a barbecue, or in the case of myself, you know, engage in a pursuit that you know, leads them getting into professional work. I mean, some of the filming I've done here in my room and you know, here at the house has helped me hone my skills and allowed me to get into paid work with my filming, which is awesome. Some of that paid filming I've done in the last few months, one of the most impressive ones I think was filming parts of a short music video at Molly Meldrum's house down in St Kilda. Molly was great to work with, lots of fun, cracking out bringing out stories left, right, and centre, and just an amazing afternoon. It was really good fun. One of the productions I've been working on recently is called The Art of Lies and Obfuscation, and I think I got it right. Here it is here, and there it is there. Anyway, and it's an interesting story. Great talent involved. And that's going to be featured as part of Melbourne Fringe Festival from about the 17th of September to whatever, I think that's a Tuesday through to the Friday. Here are the dates anyway. So, and location, you might want to check that out. It's that's something I've worked on. I've also worked on a short film with a mate of mine, Chris, and called Old Man, and that was a bit of fun. We did the editing for that. He submitted that to MIF, but didn't quite get over the line, and I'm not sure where that's going now. We also did a short film called Kim, which is in post-production. He's putting that together at the moment, so that's exciting. Also, with my involvement with CHP, as I mentioned, I've been doing some presentations and, you know, talks and what have you. I've been to Bairnsdale, I've been down to Geelong, I've been all over the place. We've been, you know, been to a conference recently with the Victorian Indigenous Statewide Homelessness Network, and they've just got their website finally up and running, which is pretty cool. So that's interesting. And if there's any, they're asking if we'd like to nominate people to present at the next conference. We can nominate them there, so that's pretty interesting. But can't ignore that I'm standing in front of a bit of a construction. I've been on this for the last couple of months. Last year I planned to produce a short film entitled A New Train of Thought, and we couldn't lock down a location to film some of the required scenes with the actors, so I had to cancel it. And then luckily, with support of Chloe down at Curate Space, she allowed us to come down and do some filming a couple of months ago, and we got all the films done with the actors, which was great. The actors did an awesome job. Anyway, we filmed all the main scenes. We also did the newsreader package a couple of weeks earlier with Justine, and we did it at Justine's house, which was great for her to let us do it there. And it was all, that was part of it, but the other important component was the city, and I designed something that I thought I could build fairly easily and put together fairly quickly, and it turned out to be way bigger than that. I've never built anything like this. It's been a learning experience. The original designs would basically just have some holes in the building, put a light in the back, and we'd have some light flowing through with some smoke, and it all looked pretty good. It did look good, as this shot shows, but not good enough. And I quickly realised that I had to put some LED lights in, and once you start, well, you've got to keep going. So this one's got 40 lights in it, this one's got, you know, lights in it. There's more. I had to put extra buildings in. This main building over here with the crack where the people with the cast end up in the room, in the conference room, or it's not really a conference room, but we'll call it that for the moment. I've got a balcony there where they're going to teleport onto, and it all just took longer to build than I expected. There's 120 LEDs in this thing, so they all took time to wire up, and I got to a point where it had crunched my post-production time. I started editing things. I made mistakes during the film night. This scene on the balcony, we probably should have just done that in front of a green screen, and that would have been 10 minutes work to get rid of the green screen. As it was, it's been days rotoscoping to get the actors out so I can put a background of this city behind them. I've had glitches with Adobe After Effects. I tell you what, people are going away from Adobe in droves, and they might need to have a think about it, because there's other options, there's cheaper options, and as long as they do the job, well, they are an option. And I'm leaving that till the end of the year to make a decision on what I'm going to do for next year. But I'm paying $86 a month for Adobe, you know, and I'm doing visual effects the other night, and After Effects keeps falling over, and it's like, why? You know, and they do their constant updates. You update one program and then the other one won't talk to it, so you end up updating that one, and then you have glitches. And some of the other software, they don't seem to suffer those problems. So that's something I think that Adobe might have to look at. So where's it at? In terms of the production, you know, it's on my shoulders that it hasn't got over the line in time to be submitted to Road Short Film Competition. That's my fault. It's either an error in scheduling, or I couldn't have worked any faster or harder to put the city up. So I think just an unrealistic expectation of what I could achieve in a limited amount of time. I've never built anything like this before, so it's been a learning experience. But I certainly thank everyone that's been involved. Certainly the actors on the night, they did a cracking job. Before Phil and Danica and Jackie and Josh got to run around, we had Justine, Leanne and Sean involved in the newsreader package, and they did an awesome job. We filmed that down at Justine's place, and really, you know, appreciate that. We also had on both nights, we had Khan running around doing the audio, and he's done a cracking job. Belle did some behind the scenes shots, and she took some awesome footage and some really great stuff. As a component to submission to the Road Short Film Competition, you have to do a behind the scenes package showing you using the Road gear. That's just the way they want to run their comp, fair enough. And we've got all of that. So the production really is matched to submission to their comp. That's just the way it is. We also had Ahmed, who did the clapperboard, and it's good when you get someone who actually clearly states this is scene 1, shot 3, take 4. Makes editing a lot easier when you know what's there. not just from the clapperboard, because sometimes the clapperboard, you might be a bit out of shot, or it could be blurry. There's all sorts of reasons that go on where you need people to state the clapperboard, and it makes it easier when you're bringing in the audio to listen and you know what's going on, than having to try and work out, does that match the dialogue? So there's that. We also my mate Chris, who helped me, he come and picked me up, took all my gear down, and so we could take all the gear down to create space when we filmed down there, and that was great. And he brought me home as well. He's also done some stuff recently, which has been really cool. Him and his mate Rommel helped me put up some of this cloth. I had to put up some extra cloth, but they did help, certainly. He's also helped me go and get timber and that from Bunnings to build the city. It would have been very tricky if I'd had to, I don't have a vehicle still, so it would have been tricky for me to go and get MDF and that. I would have had to do it one sheet at a time and carry it back on the bus, which would have been awkward. So I really appreciate what he's done. And more recently, I certainly appreciate Joe, who came on 2 nights. We filmed on a Friday night, and we filmed some scenes here, and I realised quickly that there was some aspects lacking. Needed the lights under the bridge, needed a bit more detail on the crack on the main building, and I ended up having to move the crack to meet the scenes that we filmed, so that's just a thing. And I'd got an extra smoke machine, so when we had the second run, we got some really good footage, and that's what we'll end up using. So we've got all the footage for here now, so that's really great. And now it's about just adding some of those visual effects, and I got to a point where I'd added one effect and it just looked awesome, and I thought, with a bit more time. Anyway, with 3 days to go before Road's deadline, this thing's not getting up. That's just the way it is. And again, that's on my shoulders, and I'll learn from that. And I apologise to everyone. And I think at this point, the best way forward is I'll just keep working on it. I'll get to add the effects I want, get it tweaked just right. That's my responsibility to the production, to present it in the best light. And that's what I'm going to try and do. And then I think if people want some footage for their show reels, I can do some of that. But I think we're probably looking at, in all honesty, this thing not being uploaded till April. The tricky bit is that as part of Road's short film competition, you have to put a title page, which is their Road comp title page. It has to be up for 2 seconds or something. I can't upload the video until I've got that title page. Now, I've got this year's title page, absolutely, but I need next year's title page, and we can't get that until they launch next year's competition. So, I mean, this year it was late April or something. Who knows? Last year it was early April, so who knows? So I have to wait until they launch next year's comp. Then they launch the starter kit that goes with it, you download, which has those title page. I can add the title page and then upload it. So pretty much the same day they launch, I'll be able to upload it. That's the time frame that works for me. That's what I think is the best thing for the production. I'll only take comment from cast and crew, people who are actually involved in the production, as to what they think is the best thing. Anybody else, well, I'm sorry, but you don't get a word in at this point, because if I'd had a little bit more help, I would have got this thing built quicker. If I had a little bit more help, we had people say they were coming on the film night and they didn't turn up, and that's frustrating. So, it doesn't matter. Mistakes were made and what have you, and some of that's me, some of that's on other people, but this is where we're at, and it's about making the best out of what we got. Anyway, guys, I think that's about it. Like I say, as for the production, it will get up, but probably not till April next year. And in the meantime, I'll just keep trying to put some content up, keep out and about with Trev running, and we'll see what I can put together next time. I've got heaps of content, so if there's someone out there that would like to collaborate in terms of editing, if you're proficient with Adobe Premiere, maybe a bit of After Effects, and you'd like to collaborate in a YouTube channel, send me an email. You don't have to use Adobe stuff if you're into DaVinci or hit film or something. Show me what you can do and let's talk. There might not be a lot of money in it at the start, but I am getting into more and more paid work, and I'm starting to want to, you know, outsource the editing because I just don't have time for it. Well, that's where I'm at. Cheers guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.